The secret to tech sales success is being as cute as Bella. And it's also interrupting people. Let's talk more about that.
When Bella barked at the end and interrupted me, she was onto something. She actually stumbled upon the secret to success in B2B tech sales. It's the secret to generating a massive pipeline that converts to massive paydays. It's the art of relentlessly interrupting, day in and day out, the right people at the right target companies to open up more business conversations. It's simple math. Having more customer conversations is going to lead to more opportunities. And the only way you're going to have enough conversations to hit your targets is to consistently cold call people and interrupt them, to cold email them and interrupt them, to social sell, send messages on LinkedIn and interrupt them, to go to networking events and trade shows and interrupt people and start conversations in person. There's no getting around it. You're gonna have to interrupt people. And there's many people out there who might see this video and say, get a real job. That's ridiculous. You're interrupting people. That's rude. Like, how can you live with yourself? And to that, I'd say I take a lot of pride in what I do, because sales development and sales in general is the lifeblood of a company, and a company wouldn't exist and persist without sales. In fact, sales is what pays for the salaries of all the other employees. That level of impact is something to be proud of. That's a unique opportunity. So as a seller, you're gonna have to interrupt people, and you're gonna have to accept that there's never really a good time to reach out to a prospect. You could overanalyze and think that in the morning or in the afternoons on a Friday are good times to reach out, and that might be the case. Maybe on a Friday afternoon, a customer is finishing up work and in a better mood, but the reality is you're always gonna be interrupting their day, and it's gonna be annoying. I remember a young couple asked my parents for advice on when the best timing would be to have kids, and they told them there's never a good time. You're never ready. Eventually, you just gotta go for it, you gotta do it, and you're gonna figure it out along the way. And it's the same way with cold calling. Rather than overanalyze about the right timing of when to make a call, just pick up the phone and smile and dial and give it your best shot and accept the outcomes. Some sellers out there might say, my company has great inbound leads, we have great marketing, so I'm just gonna focus on the inbound leads that are customers that really wanna talk to me. That, my friend, is a losing strategy, especially if you want to be a top performer, because the inbound leads that come to you aren't gonna be enough to hit your numbers, and most inbound leads are smaller deals or mid-sized deals at best. The whale deals that can change your quarter or your year are never gonna be inbound leads. Those large enterprise clients have many sellers who are trying to wine and dine them and get their attention, and they probably already have a solution in place that's getting the job done. Why the heck would they come to you? When I was at Google Cloud, the largest deal that I landed when I was there was a $10 million over 3-year deal with OfferUp. At the time, OfferUp was ingrained in the competition. They were running on AWS, and there was no reason for them to talk to Google Cloud. They were comfortable. And when I picked up the phone and I interrupted Arian's day, and Arian was the CTO of OfferUp at the time, he said, hey, I'm not interested, we're all set on AWS. But because I was willing to call him and interrupt him, and because I was prepared for the conversation and for that objection, and I'd researched why companies like OfferUp moved from AWS to Google Cloud, based on global expansion and data analytics initiatives which were relevant based on my research on OfferUp, I was able to challenge his perspective and get him to offer up, pun intended, the opportunity for me to follow up with the new CTO that would be stepping in a couple months down the road when he moved to the board. Of course, I put a reminder in my calendar to follow up 3 months later with the new CTO when he stepped into the role, and when I did, I had an incredibly powerful subject line. Congrats, Arian referred me to you. Being able to use a powerful subject line like that and ultimately get the meeting with the new CTO was all thanks to me being willing to interrupt Arian 3 months earlier. So at this point, you get that your job in sales is to consistently interrupt high potential prospects' days, to open up conversations, to frame your value, and see if there's a fit to partner together. Let's acknowledge that picking up a phone to call a stranger that is almost guaranteed to be annoyed with you and most likely will reject you is terrifying. It's such an uncertain scenario where a lot is out of your control, and it's natural for us to want to avoid this type of uncomfortable activity. So how do you prepare to consistently handle these nerves and overcome them so you can do what you need to do to be successful in sales? Well, first, choose your intention and focus on coming from a place of service. When you cold call someone or reach out via email or LinkedIn or talk to them in a networking conversation in person, focus on being curious on how you can bring value, how you can support their goals, help them solve relevant challenges, and get off yourself and let go of your attachment to having to get the meeting at all cost. If you believe in your product and the value you can deliver to customers, then you're not going to feel as bad about interrupting someone's day because you are intentionally trying to help them out. If you don't actually believe in your product, that's a problem. And of course, you're going to feel awkward and fearful about interrupting people's day because you don't believe in what you're selling, and the customer's going to sniff that out. The solution to this is building your belief in your product. Customers buy for a reason. Check out case studies on the website and see quotes from happy customers and use that as ammunition to build your belief and also to shape your messaging when you reach out to prospects. It's valuable to frame an opportunity of how you can help a prospect through the lens of how you help someone else. If you have access to technical folks who work on the actual product at your company, set up conversations with them to understand what they love about the product and what customers tell them they love about the product. And talk to top performing sellers at your organization and ask them what their happy customers are saying about the product, and use that to build your belief and to fuel you as you go out and interrupt more people's day to open up conversations. And if you're doing your job and consistently cold calling prospects, you can feel better about the interaction, and the prospect will too when you are socially aware and you acknowledge you're in an interruption. You could use a permission-based opener like this. Hey Tim, this is Chris calling from Bestman Global. I realize I'm completely interrupting your day and you didn't ask me to call you, so do you have 15 seconds for me to tell you why I'm calling? And you could throw in this extra line in your opener to put the prospect completely in control and at ease. And then you can decide if it even makes sense to have a further conversation. So let's run through it one more time. Hey Tim, this is Chris calling from Bestman Global. I know I'm interrupting your day and you didn't ask me to call you. Do you have 15 seconds for me to tell you why I'm calling? Then you can decide if it makes sense to have a further conversation. If you get a knee-jerk objection like, I'm not interested or I'm running to a meeting, you could say something like this. Tim, I understand you're busy, I understand you're not interested, and I know, again, that you didn't ask me to call you, I'm an interruption. Would it make sense for me to take 1 minute to tell you how we helped another company like yourself save $100,000? If you feel like I wasted your time after that, you can tell me to take a hike, and I totally will. You don't have to use the exact scripts that I shared, but the key takeaways are be socially aware and acknowledge you're in an interruption. And put the prospect in control by giving them an out and the opportunity to tell you no. Thank God during my Google days, I was willing to pick up the phone and cold call Arian, the CTO of OfferUp, and interrupt his day, because that led to a $10 million deal, as I mentioned, that made my year at Google Cloud and actually changed the trajectory of my career. Yes, it's unnatural and terrifying to cold call a prospect and interrupt their day, but it just takes one yes from one conversation to change your quarter, year, and your whole career. The art of interrupting is a lifelong skill that transcends tech sales. When you're ready to start your company as an entrepreneur, venture capital funding isn't going to fall in your lap. You're going to have to go out there and get it and create opportunities. You're going to have to cold call investors, email them, and open up conversations at networking events. That attractive stranger across the room probably isn't going to just walk up to you and hand you their number without you going up and approaching them. If anything, I hope this video and this career path in sales encourages you to consistently step out of your comfort zone and put yourself out there. This is an opportunity, this career path, to become the most badass, confident, and impactful version of yourself possible. And you guys are worthy of everything you want, all your biggest dreams. No. And sometimes you got to go out there and get it. You got to make it happen, like my dad always said. It's such a simple expression, but there's power in it. Don't make excuses. Don't give in to fear and rationalizations. Just go for what you want. If you got value out of this video, then make sure to hit the like button and share this video with more people in your network who you think could benefit from the message. If you haven't already, subscribe to my Sell More, Live More newsletter linked in the description of this video, and in return, you'll get some free tech sales resources like cold calling scripts, an interview checklist, a 90-day SDR Success Plan, and even a mini course on salary negotiation. And if you're a college graduate or a career changer looking to break into tech sales and launch your six-figure career, or if you're a current SDR looking to accelerate your path to promotion to account executive to join the six-figure earners club, check out Tech Sales Accelerator. This is the most meaningful project I've ever undertaken. It took me 2 years to build this blueprint that gives you all you need to break into tech sales and launch your career. If you've got questions on it, feel welcome to email support@techsalesaccelerator.com. And I've linked the course and the website in the description of this video. To your success in tech sales and in life, happy selling and happy living, and I'll see you in the next one.